So the last time we left off here when I placed in this landscape photo. So if we want to size it up, we just grab it by these white boxes and just pull. I don't want to make it too big. I just want it to be big enough to fill the canvas. That's pretty good. So if we push return, that'll kind of make that stick. And then I can grab this buffer layer because it's actually underneath the landscape, and I can click and hold that down and then drag it up to bring it on top. Okay, well that's looking pretty good. I might want to move my shoes a little bit, just kind of tuck them in a little bit more so that they're not taking up too much room on the design here. We want to leave some space for the actual picture that people will be taking using your filter. So now we need to add in the layer of color that I put on the bottom here. So we just need the rectangular marquee tool to do that. So if I click on this up here, we can also click down and we can see the elliptical one, the single row, marquee tools, but we want the rectangular one. If we click and drag this, we can create a shape. I want it to go all the way out there. And actually I wanted this on a different layer. So like, let's make a new layer here by clicking on this create new layer icon. And I want this below everything except for the landscape. I want it actually below my buffer too, because it's going to go below the buffer. We're not actually going to export this out with the buffer on it. It's just to help us design. So if I do a file or an edit fill, oops, let's see, I'm not on the right. Oops, I actually put the buffer on top of that. So this is my layer that I'm going to be on. This is the new layer I created for the rectangle. I'll rename it by double clicking on it and then renaming, and then we'll do an edit fill. And we'll kind of go to the contents. If it's on something else, just put it on color, and then here you can add in the color you want to fill it with. So I think we're going to fill this with purple color. 28 is the C, and then 84 is the next one, and then I wanted 0, 0. So this is the color mix I wanted. Push OK. I think I want this on multiply. And we can make this multiply here as well. We can turn down the opacity here if we want to on this layer. I think I actually probably want it maybe around 92%. And if I want to deselect these dancing ants, I would do a Command D to deselect. So make sure the layer, I'm going to move my layer underneath my shoes. I'm going to turn this buffer off, I guess, for now. So we'll get the text in there quickly with this text tool here. Click and drag. And I'm going to put in Devlin Trail. So if I want to change my text a little bit, I can double click on it and I can come up here, make sure it's highlighted, and then I can go to the text I want to use, which actually this AW Conqueror carved is kind of what the text that I was thinking I wanted. I can size it down by coming here and actually manually adding it in. Maybe I'll do 100 and just, or 200 and just see. Oops, 100. Oops. Dang it. Let's try again. So if you double click in here, you can highlight all the text, and then we'll come here and I'm just going to make this 100 and then push return. And I can make my box bigger. Got to make this 100 too. Push return. I think it could actually be bigger than that. Let's make it 125 maybe. There we go. Actually, I think I'm going to drag the box around a little bit more, so I'll grab the text tool, click on that to get the cursor in there, and the box will show up, so we can drag that. And if I want to make this like left aligned, I can do it here, I can center it. If I want to change the color of the text, I can double click here and change that color, but this is actually the color I want. Push OK, and we can kind of bring those buffers back in just to make sure. I think I might move my rectangle down, make sure I'm on my right layer. I think I'm going to bring it down to maybe like right there. And I'm going to move my shoe print my lower shoe prints up a little bit so that they're not in the way. So that is basically the design I created. I did create an alternate design, just a slightly different one. I brought in file, place embedded. I actually found this file online. Let's see, it's on my desktop somewhere. This trail PNG, I just pulled it offline. I kind of liked the way that this trail looked, so I just basically brought that in, kind of turned off all my other layers so I wasn't distracted. And then I made a new layer by pushing the new layer button. I can name this trail drawing. I'm going to create kind of a hand-drawn trail, so I'm going to use this. To change the color of my brush, I can change it here by double-clicking, but this is actually the preloaded and I want that on there. So I'm going to change the size of my brush. And you can go in here and change your brush texture as well. So I could use a really rough brush if I wanted to. I don't want that, so I'm going to Command Z. I can go back into my history right here and erase that. Double-click on this again to just get a normal brush. Maybe I'll bring size down, and I will just start kind of using this as making sure, obviously make sure you're on the right layer, which I am. And then I can kind of I actually want it to get a little bit thicker as it comes towards me. And just kind of can adjust this a little bit. Something like that. Pretty rudimentary, but it gets the job done. Obviously, if you guys are really wanting to do something maybe more advanced, you totally can. It might help to go on YouTube and just kind of look up, you know, how other people have designed their geofilters and how they've used the software as well. And I can help you in class, obviously. It does help to have a thumbnail of your design ready so that you at least have a starting point, because it's pretty hard to figure out what techniques you're going to use without an actual idea of the image that you want to make. So doing those thumbnails is probably a pretty important step for you to make as far as you know, being prepared to make your design with the actual software. Having an actual concept going into it is going to help you figure out how you're going to approach. Ugh, I keep on messing, just making this look worse and worse. I can erase using the eraser. I think I need to maybe erase a little bit. This is just kind of a finicky thing that I'm doing, but there's probably maybe an easier way of doing this, but maybe something like that, I guess. Okay, so there's this trail that I made, and then I can do a Command T to kind of bring it up in size. Maybe I need to go back to my brush tool, and actually I'm going to Command T this again, and then if I want to kind of rotate it a little bit, I can. I think I do want to do that. I can stretch it out a little bit too if I want. By pushing Shift, you can actually stretch things. I don't think I really necessarily want to do a ton of stretching, but and then I can push Return to make that stick. Get back to that brush tool. I missed a couple spots here. And then, you know, we can kind of fill this in a little bit. This is not looking exactly the way I wanted it to, but so we have some semblance of a trail here that's kind of growing larger. I actually have a really nice trail, a really nice one, a pretty nice one that I made earlier. That I can show you. That's actually better than this one. I kind of goofed this one up. So I'll go back to that same folder that I... Oh. That's the same file I have right now. think it was this one maybe. So I have this trail that I actually made. It's right here. So if I could do a Command C, I can bring it over. Delete that. Command V. So this is the trail that I made for the other file. You can see and I can turn this off, and then we can add in our shoe prints, and let's see. As you can see in this other one, I did create a separate design. I'll just show it to you guys instead of making it. It's basically the same as the other one. It's just a little bit different. So it looks like this. This is the other design that I made. So basically I made that extra trail, and then I just used the same footprints, and then I put Devlin Trail over here. But I think the other way of making it is a little bit more successful. It's a little bit maybe more simple, but I think it looks good. And then we can turn off our landscape. Obviously, when we go to export these, we don't want the landscape or anything on. We can turn off these, and I would actually export out my piece like this. But anyway, I wanted to show you my alternate design that I did make, but it's pretty much the same design for the same filter. It's just a slightly different, but I ended up going with this one. Anyway, that's kind of a really rudimentary tutorial on how to use Photoshop to create a Snapchat geofilter. And this one was for the Devlin Trail here in town. And then the next video will kind of walk you through how to actually submit your geofilter. So, yep, we'll see you in class.